Welcome into Speaking with Judgment. I hope you guys had a wonderful Labor Day. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. For those who had to work, I hope you didn't work too hard. I'm Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. If you already know, you know, this is where you come to get some of the hottest and best sports takes. With the NFL season less than a week away, I've been predicting each division, breaking down each division. We are almost halfway through. I still have a few more divisions to get to. One of them is the NFC North. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Today we're talking about the NFC South. Now, to me, this is the weakest division in football. The NFC South, I'm leaning towards the Bucks to win the South. Again, it's one of the weakest divisions. Both the AFC and NFC South are weak. The NFC South is officially wide open heading into the 2025 season. This race, for all we know, could go down to the wire. For me, I have the winner of the NFC South been Tampa Bay. They've won the division 4 years in a row. They've reached the playoffs 5 years in a row. I have them winning at least 9 games. Again, weak division, get just enough wins to make it to the playoffs. Let's not forget, this is a team that got better this offseason. It's been a busy offseason, roster moves, new faces, the defense leveled up. The massive holes on defense, I feel like, have been filled with quality players. I thought they did what was needed this offseason to address their needs accordingly on defense. You go out and get edge rusher Hashan Reddick, survey. Dennis is coming back healthy this season. I believe with him being healthy, he could be the X factor to the Bucks defense getting back on track. They have enormous talent on that side of the ball. A coach who knows defense really well. Tampa's problem last year was their pass defense. You watch their pass defense, it was horrendous. And the thing is, Tampa was, as they have always been under Todd Bowles, good against the run. Against the pass, teams feast on the Bucks defenders all season long. Yes, you do have a solid receiving core with veteran Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, who's not going to be 100% to start the season, is an offensive weapon. You do now have Emeka Ibuka, who they drafted in the first round. I think it is fair to say their quarterback, Baker Mayfield, is underrated. When you watch that guy, his energy, the competitive juice, his dual threat nature, and his scrambling ability, that makes it tough for the defense. It's never been a talent issue. It was with him not having the right personnel around him that could help with his decision making and his ability to drop a ball perfectly in place, as well as the drive to push the ball down the field, which he has done so well. I mean, we should be talking also more seriously about Baker Mayfield. Do I need to tell any of you watching that this is, to me, a very underrated team coming into next season? I could see a scenario where they go on a surprise playoff run if they get the right bounces. If you look at the odds, it's as big of a spread as we've seen. The Buccaneers, the clear favorites, now in second place, I got the Atlanta Falcons. They finished the 2024 season with an 8-9 record and missed the playoffs for the second straight year. It was a very frustrating year for Atlanta. And I mean, you brought in Kirk Cousins hoping he would stabilize the quarterback position and get the team back to the postseason. And, for a little bit, it looked like the Atlanta Falcons were going to go to the playoffs. they have a team capable of competing, you got to take into consideration that one of the league's most electrifying players is in Atlanta's backfield. Bijan Robinson has proven himself as a rare talent. And the statistics, when you talk about offense, shows they can win games. Their quarterback is Michael Penix. We have a small sample size. He threw 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And Penix is a nice player. A lot of you have praised his arm strength, but I got to see more from him. I have faith in him. We'll see. He was looking good. So suddenly maybe the Falcons have something in him. So, there was a point where they were 6-3 last season, and Kirk Cousins, I believe, had 17 touchdowns, something like that. But, things unraveled for the Falcons in an ugly way after the win against Dallas. The season took a turn in a matter of weeks, and Kirk Cousins, man, a hit or miss quarterback, the best, worst quarterback. We know he can be inconsistent. The season came off the rails. Cousins had the worst stretch of his career. This season, looking at them, the revamped defense is going to be more physical. That was the thing this offseason. Coach Raheem Morris trying to add more intensity to the defense, so they brought in Leonard Floyd from the 49ers. I think he will be a huge upgrade for their pass rush. They're getting a player with a proven track record who should raise the floor of the defense. You also bring in Divine Diablo from the Raiders. You brought back veteran corner Mike Hughes and veteran defensive lineman Taquan Graham. The latest free agent signings, along with a pair of first-round picks, reshapes their defense. 2 first-round edge rushers, Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. Last season, man, let me tell you, it was frustrating to watch this defense at times because they just couldn't get off the field. I mean, those guys on that side of the ball finished 28th in defensive EPA and 29th in defensive DVOA, and also finished 23rd in points allowed. You didn't see them really address the offensive side of the ball this offseason. Really didn't need to. I think they have plenty of weapons on that side of the football. Offensively, they have a talented group of young and ascending skill players. My guy from USC, fight on, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and tight end Kyle Pitts. It was their defense that mainly had holes. Who would ever thought they would not win the division last season? On paper, they had a team that should have been good enough to contend for the NFC South title. As far as coaching, Raheem Morris might be the worst coach in the South. A 6-3 start and a collapse due to defensive lapses and situational mistakes show me you're not built to be a head coach. Part of it is this team has had horrible coaching for a decade. Morris is what he is. I don't know if I feel confident in Morris moving forward. At 7-10, I like the Carolina Panthers. I've got them finishing 3rd. I like where the Panthers are going in terms of their direction. It's still progress, but I think the reality is, as an organization, they are getting better under Dave Canellis. These things take time, but the chemistry and cohesion will get better. Things are starting to come together. I think you're beginning to see them gel a little bit more. Chuba Herbert is the heart and soul of the offense, just a human highlight reel. the acceleration, explosiveness. He is indeed a special player, guaranteed to be an absolute dog. You have Bryce Young, who is getting sharper and confident. We are starting to see him come into his own. I think there are good things all around with this team. More overall talent, um, added to all levels of their defense. They got depth in the trenches. The first order of business for Dan Morgan was to invest in the trenches on the offensive side of the football and even the defensive side of the football, mainly the interior. Their GM has a vision for a team of high energy guys, a physical play style. On the defensive side of the football, the loss of Brian Burns was a gut punch. And then you had Derek Brown go down in week 1, which was a brutal blow. The absence of Brown exposed their lack of depth in the trenches. So with him coming back, he will definitely make an impact, especially with the added talent around him. I look at Carolina and say, yeah, they'll be better, but I'm not picking them over the Bucks or Falcons. They got a lot. They got a lot of young moving parts on the defensive side of the ball. I'm confident Dave Canellis' squad can be more competitive this season. This team will go as far as quarterback Bryce Young takes them in 2025. Do I feel a certain type of way about him? Absolutely, because he's poised, decisive, and confident. I think the offense will obviously be improved. And there are still going to be questions across the board, no doubt. Hunter Renfrow got released on Wednesday. Adam Thielen is traded. I think we saw that coming. Thursday, Jalen Coker gets injured. Over the weekend, Renfrow is back and Coker is on IR at least 4 weeks. But at the end of the day, your quarterback is Bryce Young. And of course, the biggest thing with him is he needs to have a good start. But you're looking at a receiver room that, roles are changing, the personnel is changing. So for him, it's a bit of a change at the last minute. So I'm not really sure about the receiver position. I'm not sold on Carolina yet. And look, Bryce Young had a good end of the year and things went well. And it certainly looks like things are pointing in the right direction. The Saints, for sure, are going to finish last place. They're the betting favorites to have the fewest wins in the NFL, which would put them in position to have the first overall pick. So to me, clearly now, coached by Kellen Moore, we're quite possibly looking at the worst team. Now, great for them, but that they finally got a new coach. That's great for them. It's not great for them that they're going to have a bad season because the Saints are not a really good football team right now. That organization is in more of a mess than I could have imagined. I don't think the future is here. That's what it looks like as of now. It's a team that is standing at a crossroads. And I know as far as the quarterback situation that they, would go with Spencer Rattler simply because he's played NFL games. There's a lot of questions with this team right now. Not only do they have question marks at quarterback, but a lot of other places as well. You're in a spot where you don't really have a quarterback. The guys that you have are aging and not what they used to be. And then you've let go of a lot of players and haven't replaced them with enough reinforcements. It's just one of those situations where you've changed course in terms of how you approach the salary cap. It's a work in progress. And when it comes to the Saints, They're in a rebuild as they work on their salary cap. I just see the makeup of this Saints roster right now. They're a lot of pieces, away from contending. I have big expectations for the Bucks. What we know them to be as a team, I think they're the team that will win the division. You can make a legitimate argument that the Falcons win the division, but I'm taking the Bucks. I think they're the stronger team in a very weak division. All right, everybody, that's my breakdown of the NFC South, and that is my prediction for 2025. I think when it comes down to it, I think the Bucks are the best team in that division. All right, everybody, I'm out of here now. Thanks for watching. You guys take care. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll talk again very soon. Thanks for watching.